Hi, folks. You are watching and listening to a very special edition of Open Bar. I'm
Open
Mike
bar.
Morales here in Southern California. That gentleman out there is.
Dave Dinius, and I'm in the Mobile Command Center in Reno.
Oh, you know what? I was in a mobile command center for a couple of years.
I
I
know
know
you
exactly
were.
what that's like.
I know you were.
Yeah, I was out in Florida, one mobile command, and then I think we were like Illinois and Wisconsin. It was fun. We had a good time. As long as your internet holds up, life is good. So,
Yeah, hopefully it holds up.
yeah, it'll hold up. The reason I have Dave on Open Bar is because, first of all, in Cinco de Mayo in May,
Mhm.
we've got contacted by El Cristiano Tequila.
Yes.
Um, I don't know if you have any bottles handy of the El Cristiano, so we
Actually,
can
I
show
do.
it. For those of you who don't know El Cristiano, we did do the tasting of El Cristiano. Alex and I did that tasting together. It is superb. It's a
It is a nice
superb
one.
tequila. And it is manufactured at the produced. I don't want to say manufactured. It's produced by Casa Aceves,
$14.99.
$14.99.
Yep.
That's the NOM number, and it seems to be a very popular distillery with El Cristiano, Penta Tequila. I believe Angelisco is also produced there.
Jalisco.
The other one that I'm familiar with, who he doesn't make, that Jose Aceves doesn't make, is the Bad Stuff. They use that distillery also, and I think
Right.
doesn't Corrido?
Carrillo, possibly, and I think Mayenta.
Oh, Magenta, yes, yeah. And so, and those two, I think Corrido and Magenta are also Ana Maria Romero Mena.
Mhm.
For those of you who've been following us on Instagram, you've seen Dave out at the distillery. He did a couple of nice photos. You can follow him on Instagram, and also you can check him out on our Tequila Aficionado Instagram. And with me, you can follow my personal Instagram, because I was able to meet Jose Aceves from Casa Aceves and Ana Maria Romero Mena in Israel.
Nice.
And it's a long story. I'll get to that shortly. I'll probably do an open bar about that.
I think
project.
that's a different episode.
Different episode. But what I wanted to get with Dave is, Dave, this was Dave's actually first trip
It was
to
my
Mexico, to a
first trip to
distillery.
Mexico and to a distillery.
Yeah. You know,
first stamp in my passport. Nice.
that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, I want this to happen for all of our TJs. Many of us have been to distilleries. At the time when that offer came over from El Cristiano, I was tied up with our transition over to the new website, which is, by the time you folks see this, it will have already happened. So you can see our brand new, exciting website. But in the meantime, we were transitioning. So I wasn't able to attend or go with Dave, but Dave volunteered. He raised up his hand and we said, Dave, go for it, man. But I did tell him, I said, you got to meet Pepe. You got to meet Jose Aceves, who is the owner of Casa Aceves, who makes a lot of private label brands. Every one of those that comes out of there is a winner. Tell me about it. Tell me how was it for you?
It was great. I got to the airport. We flew out of LA, kind of like as a big group. There was 40 of us that went.
Wow.
We met.
You were the youngest one, huh?
I was the oldest one. Met the owners there, Karan and his wife. And
you could follow them on Instagram too, because they're really a lovely couple. They really go all out with their.
They're very hospitable, very nice. Yeah. But right there at the airport, we're getting handed shots before we even
wow.
So,
wow, they were lubing everybody right away, huh?
Yep, and gave us a nice little lunch bag that was well taken care of. We get down to Guadalajara, got spread out to our hotel, got to relax for an hour or two, and then they had a nice little kickoff party for us.
You're at the hotel or
at
Oh, they have
the
a rooftop bar,
at a
don't they?
hotel. It was a rooftop bar. It wasn't way up on the rooftop, but it was up on the rooftop, 3 or 4 flights up, something like
Okay.
that. Really nice party. They fed us. They gave us,
More
let us try
shots,
a
more
bunch of
cocktails.
cocktails, tacos, churros,
Oh my
all
God.
kinds of fun stuff. I got to try some food that I hadn't had before, and it was good stuff. Even just right there at that reception. They
Tell
did.
me about the crowd. What sort of I warned Dave. I said, Dave, don't be surprised if you're going to be the oldest person there. And it didn't matter because Dave, first of all, is not afraid. Number two, he does a lot of these, he goes to a lot of the shows like Mammoth.
Yep.
And he's not afraid to interview people. And I told him, I said, if you're going to meet anybody, you got to talk to Pepe. You got to talk to Jose Aceves.
I did talk to Pepe for a while. We sat there and he was telling me about it. And I met the other vice president of El Cristiano, John Paul.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think he said he used to work at Patron for a while.
That's what I'd heard, that he was an executive at Patron.
Yeah, and then he got influenced to come over to El Cristiano. And
well, El Cristiano, the owners are based in Beverly Hills, and
yes,
they were very nice. I am familiar with their lawyer, and he was the one that introduced us. So that's how we got a chance to. Alex and I got a chance to do the tasting.
Nice.
And they're wonderful people. They're really nice. And as a matter of fact, they invited me to an event at their home. I was not able to attend. It was kind of like last minute, but they have video of what they did at their home. And it's kind of it's a ceremony, like a celebration of color or something.
Yeah.
And it looked like so much fun. I said, God, I wish I'd been able to go, because they just seem like a really fun couple, and they're very photogenic.
And very generous. I mean, I gotta say that they were very generous, because there was, like I said, 40 of us on this plane. They went there. That included Karan and his wife. I forget her. I can't pronounce her name right.
She's beautiful. Who cares?
She is.
Yeah.
There was the influence group. I think that's what they were called. The influence. Right. They had some of their people in there. I think there was like a actor / singer. He was there. There was.
It was an all-star crew, huh?
There was a couple of people that got invited from like Wine and Spirits, the magazine.
Oh, no kidding.
Put on the San Francisco Wine and Spirits Festival.
Oh yeah, okay.
One guy from LA Magazine.
Oh, okay. So they had a good amount of press going on there.
Yeah, they had another magazine represented down in Vegas, and there was another magazine, and there was a bunch of pretty people.
And then there was Dave.
Some Dave, of their videos, yeah, you won't see me. I wasn't one of the photogenic ones that was saying, look at me.
Yeah, well, the El Cristiano did a wonderful job as far as recapping and doing the video. If you follow them on Instagram, they posted several videos. I think they had like yes. 3 or 4 or 5 of those.
And if you want to look for just that trip, it's a hashtag second flight.
Second flight. That was the hashtag that you guys were all using.
That was the hashtag we were all using. Yeah, because it was their second flight of doing this, second time of doing it. But the next morning, they took us and shuttled us out to the distillery. So we got to go see the distillery. Got to smell the smells and taste the taste of stuff fresh out. Did you
get a chance? Yeah, I was going to say, did you get a chance to number one, to baked agave? Were you able to get okay? Yeah. How was it for you? Because everybody always asks the question, what does it taste like? A lot of people who've never been to a distillery, they always ask, what does it taste like? What's it smell like? You know, so for you, what was
The
it?
smell was phenomenal.
Well, yeah, but
smell was-
what does it resemble to you?
It's so hard to describe. But
Because what I tell people is that sometimes it smells like baked yams, like
Kind of.
Thanksgiving, like pumpkin pie.
but sweet and
Yeah, much sweeter.
It does have a really nice aroma. Now the taste, I wasn't sure if I got because we went there on a Saturday. The distillery works Monday through Friday.
Right.
So the agave that we actually had that was fresh, I think might have been slightly overcooked.
Okay.
Because to me it tasted a little bitter.
Okay.
There
Okay.
was a little bitterness, either that or it was just happened to be the one piece that I was handed was a little bitter.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes when you, it's very fibrous, so you can't really eat it. You
Yeah.
can, it's very much like if for some people who have grown up in a tropical area where they grow sugarcane,
Yeah.
you know, you chew on the sugarcane, but you can't
Yes.
really eat it. You just, you know, as you're chewing, you're absorbing the sugar.
Yes. And I squeezed some in my hand, which probably I shouldn't have because it kind of stained me a little and it was really sticky.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's, you know, all that stuff, that's what you need to do. You need to stick your hand, get your hands dirty,
Yeah.
you know, put it on your nose. I tell people when I take people or do these tours, I say, take a glass of Blanco, a snifter. Now, I'm sure you guys had snifters of tequila, right?
We did, but I didn't have the cooked agave
At the same time.
place.
Yeah,
So
because it's always a good idea to take that wedge of agave, whether it's fresh or the day after, or maybe they just left it there, it's left over from the day shredding, and then you dip it in the Blanco.
Mhm.
And then you again chew on it or suck the Blanco off of it, and it gives you a really good idea of the beginning and the end product, all in the same, you know, on the same sample.
Right. And it was pretty cool. It was nice. We got to taste some of the fresh out of the still after the first distillation. They weren't doing the second distillation, so we didn't get to try that. But that was kind of I thought it was a high proof, but it wasn't. It was just, it had a little more of the heads and tails.
Right.
So
Well, it's at a higher alcohol by volume, and then the second one is where they
I asked one of the guys that were there, the workers, and it's like, no, this is just about 25%.
but it tastes like it's got more.
Yeah, it tasted like the 110. We'll try later.
Yeah. We're actually going to do a 110 from another distillery, and we'll explain that when we get to it.
Yep.
What else was memorable? How long were you at the distillery?
The distillery, we were there for a good 4 hours or so.
Okay.
And they fed us lunch again and gave us, more tequila, got some fresh tacos.
What sort of which expressions did you lean toward while you were there? Cristiano.
I really like the Blanco. I'm kind of a Blanco guy now, so but the one
It wasn't always that way, folks.
I wasn't always that way. The other one that it really surprised me, well, actually there was two. I don't know if I can say the second one yet.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Because they asked us not to say stuff about it.
Okay. So this is a new expression that's coming soon, apparently.
Yes, but the one that the tequila expression was I think they call it XR, extra reposado. Extra reposado.
I think it's already out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that one was really good.
So what was the difference? What was
the difference? Was they've taken two different types of barrels and blending them together, and it's still reposados, but it's kind of almost a single barrel, select single barrel,
right?
Two different types of, and then they mix them together. I forget. It's been a little while. I'll have to research it for the written version.
Yeah. So
as to what the barrels were.
okay, I was going to ask you, do you have any idea what they were? I'm sure they told you. It's just, it's been a
Yeah.
couple of months before
we got
just
to
Dave
see
and
all
I
the,
have.
got to see all the barrels, in the barrel room there. That was pretty neat.
How big is that facility? The reason I ask is because I know that there are several distillers that love using that distillery, and they tell me it's like if you're a master chef, it has enough equipment to let you be creative. So
Yeah.
that's why it's popular. Is that the case?
That's the case. They had, I do believe, 6 autoclaves.
Wow.
At least 6 there
Wow.
in the roasting area. I don't think I saw a real horno.
Okay.
So they didn't have that. They didn't have the Tahona anywhere. So, but inside they had massive stills, lots of stills. They had a chiller that they were hyping up pretty good. It's like, this is what makes El Cristiano so special, is because they can run it through this chiller.
It's chill filtered or something,
chill
right? Cold
filtered,
filtered
yeah,
or something.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Chill filtered. Got to see a lot of the big stills. I mean, they have quite a few.
So it's a pretty well self-contained facility then.
It is very well self-contained. Now, the size, how does it compare to something else? I don't know.
Well, yeah, because that was, you didn't, they didn't take you to Tequila or anything like that. It just took you there and then back, right?
There, and then on the way back, we stopped at a random agave field, and we got to get pictures in this random agave field, which was.
Well, okay, so what did you think of the agave? Now that you've actually been walking through them, among them.
They're sharp.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you to watch out for the
Well, I
pricks.
got a couple little agaves, but they're not blue Webers. They're almost the same kind of agave plant. So yeah, I'm used to getting stuck by those too. So, but it was nice. They also took us to an orphanage. They let us walk around us. Got to see the city there, the church that's right there in the square.
Yeah.
What else? They took us to the orphanage that they sponsor and support. They gave them another big check, and all the kids got brand new pair of shoes that day. So, it was real nice. When we were at the agave fields, they had some kids that were mountain bikers, and they were in a little club, and they presented them with a check. I mean, these people were very generous.
Wow. So they sponsor like a mountain bike kind of club, and then
Like a mountain bike kind of club, yeah, for kids. And it was really
the orphanage.
nice. Yeah.
Wow.
And then an orphanage. That was that day. Then they took us to dinner back in Guadalajara. A real nice restaurant there. They fed us. We got to watch the fight. We had some amazing food there.
Oh yeah, that was the night that Canelo won. He was fighting in Mexico. He
was fighting in Guadalajara.
In Guadalajara, yeah. How that was crazy. The fireworks show afterwards when he won. That's some crazy stuff that they had there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the next day, they took us to Tequila Town.
So what happened with you at Tequila Town? Where did you guys go?
We ended up going to Sauza.
Sauza, you mean?
Sauza.
Yeah.
And it was more of the reception area kind of it. We didn't go into the distillery.
Yeah, you won't.
They have a place next to the distillery where they have events. They feed you, the gift shop, and all that stuff. They had a show going on for us. We were under tents, drinking again, more food. There was a mariachi band, dancing, some brought out a horse. You know,
Oh God, wow.
they went all out for this. And then after that, they took us to the airport and we flew back to LA.
Wow, what a downer.
But it was just a whirlwind trip, and I can't say enough about them being as generous as they were.
Excellent, excellent. So what was the biggest takeaway from the whole trip for you?
This, I got to smell the smell, taste it, and see it, you know, but the smell I'll never forget.
Good, excellent, excellent. That's what I want to hear. You spent you spent some good time with Pepe, Jose Aceves. What with in your conversations with him or with anybody at El Cristiano? What was the biggest for you? Again, what was the most memorable takeaway for you?
Really, the generosity of the guys that were there, and just being so open and talking to me about everything. You know, I asked Jose Pepe, you know, his favorite tequila that he makes there, and he let me know. And
I'll have to ask him the same question when I see him next month in August.
yeah, just real generous. The other guy, the vice president of Northside.
Oh, John Paul?
Yeah, he said he wants to kind of get with Tequila Aficionado and kind of get some writing on a book for him, you know, something along that line. So,
well, we'll have to reach out to him. Thanks for the tip. I will, again, you know, this is just the beginning because Dave's working on in between, oddly enough, in between his trip and now Dave moved.
Yes.
So, you know, he's back in Reno. This poor guy, he started with us in Reno, went to Virginia. From Virginia to Southern California.
Yep.
And now you're back in Reno. This guy's moved more times than more times than I have in a shorter amount of time. So now that he's someplace based where he's going to be for a little while, he'll be able to write something up for us. And you've got more photos, I believe, don't you? You've got a few more or did you?
Yeah, I got some photos.
Okay, because I know you posted some on your Facebook. I wasn't sure if you posted all of them or anyway. We'll figure that out.
That was most of what I thought was good.
Well, yeah, because the rest is just like you said, the pretty people.
Yeah, you don't want to see that one.
Well, you know that. If you want to see all the pretty people, you can follow El Cristiano on their Instagram. They did a wonderful job on their videos. I can't say enough about their social. They did great as far as documenting the events and all the happenings that they did. You know, they didn't show anything on the plane ride. You know, I thought for sure you'd give us a selfie of everybody on the plane.
No,
but anyway, well, that's okay. You know,
I'm not one that likes to pull out the camera and document every friggin' thing. I live it. You know, that's kind of how.
Well, you know, and that's why you're going to write it up a little bit for us because there's so many things that, you know, I can only ask you so many things and then something else will come to mind for you.
Yeah.
Because when you do these events and they're 3-day intensives, you know, because that's basically it. It's a 3-day intensive. And then, you know, before you know it, you're back and then you spend, you know, a few days processing. And in Dave's case, he hadn't had a chance to do any of that because he was moving.
I had to move. Yeah. I've been making several trips up from Vista to Reno and putting stuff in storage and then I finally got my job. I start that Monday.
Yeah, so now you're taking a breather, man.
Now that I got the job, I can get a house, and then we got to move everything out of storage into the house. So yeah, it's crazy.
Well, you know, again, but Dave is so used to moving that, you know, what can I tell you? But anyway, that's Dave's recap. Dave Dinius' recap of the El Cristiano. What was the hashtag again? If you want to look at it.
Hashtag second flight.
Second flight. Is that second like SECOND?
Yeah.
Okay. Second flight is the hashtag if you want to look for any of those other photos of the trips that everybody was on, I guess.
There were some great videos there showing some of you know, it was well done. They had a couple for professional photographers. So
Yeah, and those were their own, I think, and they're the ones that
Yeah.
did a really bang up job. So
Yes.
if you want to check out that hashtag, it's Second Flight. We'll have Dave's article up probably in the next month or so, maybe sooner. And but anyway, that's our recap. So you have been watching and listening to a very special edition of Open Bar. It's Dave Dinius talking to us about El Cristiano.
El Cristiano.
Go get it. I can't say enough about the tequila myself.
I can't say enough about the generosity of them people. Very nice.
Yeah. They have their own Instagram. They're very accessible and very photogenic. Just
yes.
They live in Beverly Hills. I mean, you know, I'm not even sure exactly how they got to that point, but it doesn't matter. You know, the fact that they're spreading the joy around, that says a lot. I did sit there at one point that during that first night, and I got to really talk to the Cadron, and very nice guy, very humble, and he told me the story about it and how he got into it. But you know, that's well, good. Maybe you can relay some of that later on in your write-up, if you can remember little bits and pieces of the story. You know,
yeah, there's so much to the story, and like you said, it was a whirlwind.
Yeah, just Dave has not had a chance to process anything, and it is because I know what that's like. I spent 7 days in Israel, and I'm still processing.
And then the Tequila Aficionado switch over. So
yeah, we're switching over. So by the time you folks see this, the website will be up. The brand new website. We're celebrating our 24th year, leading into our 25th anniversary. Yeah, 25 years of Tequila Aficionado, and Alex and I. We got Alex, our founder, Alex Perez, and I, and Jim Johnston, who's our new operations guy. He's also our taster in Ohio. We've got some great stuff lined up for everybody in the next couple of years, because it's really important for us to share these events, you know, with the audience, with the public who may never get a chance to go. And like Dave, that was his first one.
The first one. I got to go finally.
Yeah. So congratulations to Dave.
And it's been almost 7 years. Almost 7 years.
I've been
doing tequila.
Well, Dave's one of our senior tasters. So is Jim. A few others that we've had. Rick is another one of those.
Yep.
So we've got several guys who are in the pipeline to do some of these trips. And hopefully we'll get everybody out to a distillery between now and the 25th anniversary, so we can, or maybe we'll just grab all 13 of you and we'll do the one big trip. But anyway, folks, that's our take. That's Open Bar about El Cristiano. Show the bottle again so people can get a chance to see it. It's available in LA. It's available in several different states. I believe Illinois as well now. So
I think it's almost every state.
Every state. I believe they're in Texas also.
And it's in Total Wines. So
yeah, go get it. The Blanco, highly recommended. If you haven't seen a review, Alex and I did the reviews on all the iterations that we had at the time.
The extra reposado, try that one. Nice.
Yeah, we need to get those. We need to get them to send us those bottles for us to complete the line. I mean, basically, we only had I believe it's the Blanco, the Reposado, and then they had an Añejo.
Now they have
I think, or an extra Añejo. We didn't get an Añejo.
Now they have an extra Añejo and the extra Reposado.
The extra Repo. Yeah, so we'll have to complete the line. I'll have to.
And one that's coming out soon.
Yeah, I believe it might be out, but I know that they've announced it. I've seen it on their Instagram. So, but anyway, that's our take. Stick with us. We've got more information coming for you. That's right. El Cristiano. Dave gives it a big thumbs up. That's our take. Thanks, folks, for watching Open Bar. Stay with us. We got plenty more coming. Thanks. Nice. And remember, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.